sorry.
I'm going to close my eyes for this one. You're doing a group session
Join me.
here.
Okay, so if you just close your eyes down, please. Just take a moment just to focus on your breath. Just begin to notice all those different physical sensations when you breathe in and out. See if you can notice the rise and fall of your chest with every breath that you take. See if you can notice the rise and fall of your stomach with every breath that you take. And then when you're ready to go into a deeper state of relaxation, a state of hypnotic relaxation, you can just let me know. Just by opening up your eyes. Yeah. Just take a look at my finger. And wherever I move my finger, you just sleep, just go deeper, 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 deeper. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Deeper, deeper. Now I wonder if you can use your strong and your vivid imagination. I wonder if you can imagine what it would be like just to be standing on those steps overlooking the lawns of those beautiful, beautiful gardens. And you see there's 5 of these steps that lead down to the lawns of the gardens themselves. In a moment you're going to walk down these steps, and with every step you take, you allow yourself just to drift just deeper and deeper. In your mind's eye, just put your foot onto the first step as you drift deeper, deeper, deeper. And the second step, you're just so calm, so relaxed. And as you put your foot firmly onto the third step, you know, it's almost as though it's just a wave of relaxation just washing right the way through your body. And the fourth step, deeper, deeper, deeper. And finally, fifth step, so calm, so relaxed. Just stepping down to the lawns of the gardens themselves, just feeling grass beneath your feet, sun on your face, gentle breeze, keeps temperature perfect. Short distance away, very comfy, very cosy garden seat. In a moment you walk over, sit down. As you do, become another 2 times deeper. Just go there now. It's not far. That's good. That's good. Now in a moment I'm going to ask you to open your eyes again. Then I'm going to count from 1 to 3 and I'll snap my fingers like this. And when I do, I'd like you to snap your eyes shut. And when you snap your eyes shut, you just allow yourself just to drift off, just deeper and deeper. Open your eyes, deeper and deeper. More calm, more relaxed. Letting go every nerve, every muscle, and every sinew. That's good. Open your eyes, deep, 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 deep. I wonder if you can imagine what it would be like if your arm was solid, like stone, like lead. Your forearm stuck to your lap. I wonder if you can imagine what it would be like if your arm was glued. Your arm is glued to your body. It's as though your arm is completely, absolutely stuck. And the more you try to shift your arm, the tighter stuck it becomes. The more you try to shift it, the heavier it presses down into your lap. When you can imagine that feeling, just briefly test it. That's right, the more you try to shift it, the tighter stuck it becomes. Just try it, see what happens. That's right, open your eyes, just deeper, deeper, deeper. You can move your arm anytime you want now. You allow your mind, your body just to let go. Just deeper, deeper, deeper. And then talk to the others just for a minute. So when we did the snap induction, I kept physical contact with Lou just for a little while afterwards, just to keep that thing going. You know, so you don't release physical contact straight away. And it's just a personal thing, but I find it works much better that way, personally. Okay, Lou, what I'd like you to do, I'd like to use your strong, your vivid imagination. I'd like to imagine what it would be like to be walking along a path in your perfect garden. trees, bushes, shrubs, wildlife, everything you'd expect in your perfect garden, until you reach that familiar fork in the path. You could turn left, you could turn right. Now if you could imagine a beautiful full-length mirror, and in that mirror, at that fork in the path, there's a version of yourself how you don't want to be, how you don't want others to see you struggling to fit into your dress, maybe feeling a bit uncomfortable. When you got that woman there, just nod your head to let me know. Imagine her stepping out of the mirror, see the way she moves, the way she walks, the way she holds herself, the way she carries herself, what her body language says to the world. And just put her onto one of those paths, either left or right, whichever path it is, we'll call it the path of error. And when you're on that path of error, or she's on that path of error, only when, not before, just nod your head just to let me know. Now, I like to imagine that version of yourself, how you do want to be, how you do want others to see you, wearing that figure-hugging wedding dress, looking so good, so positive. And you can imagine that, just nod your head to let me know. Excellent. Don't you look good? Happy, smiling, confident, relaxed, full of life, full of energy. See yourself stepping out of that mirror. See the way you move, the way you walk, the way you hold yourself, the way you carry yourself, and put yourself onto that other path, whichever side it is, either right or left, but we'll call that one the path of excellence. And when you're on that path, only when and not before, just nod your head to let me know. Excellent. What's the difference between those two characters? Not just the way they look, but the way they hold themselves, the way they carry themselves, what their body language says to the world. And let's take a brief journey along that path of error. Now as you begin walking that path, again, the days, the weeks, the months, the years begin to roll away beneath your feet. The first thing you notice, as you're walking along that path, it drops suddenly downhill because it's very steep, very narrow, it's dark, it's cold, it's lonely. As you're walking along that path, you're beginning to get more and more of a tummy on you. Perhaps your ankles, your knees, your hips beginning to ache because you're carrying more weight than you used to. And as you're walking down that path, it's just getting harder and harder. The path is getting narrower and darker, it's cold, it's lonely, it's miserable, and you're getting short of breath. It's horrible, horrible path. Come away from there. You can leave all that trail of crisp packets and wine bowls behind. Come back to that fork in the path. Let's take a look along that path of excellence. Now as you look at that path, it might look as if it's going uphill quite steeply, but it also looks incredibly inviting, so you decide to give it a go. And as you begin walking that path, again, the days, the weeks, the months, the years roll away beneath your feet. And as you begin walking that path, the first thing you notice, the path is a lot easier to walk than you ever imagined. With every step, with every stride, you're becoming healthier, fitter, so full of life, so full of energy. Your body shape becoming exactly as you'd like it to be, and the path is getting broader and broader, more and more level, easier and easier to walk, until very soon you look up and you can see for miles and miles. You feel like running, you feel like laughing, you feel like exercising. So good, so positive, so full of life, so full of energy. Even your skin has got that healthy glow of vitality. And then you look to see where you could have gone. You see a difference between these two paths, not just today and tomorrow, but the days, the weeks, the months, the years ahead. This is so much more than fitting into your wedding dress. This is so much more than eating healthily. This is so much more than consuming sensible quantities, or none even. It's about making a statement. It's about making a statement to yourself, making a statement to the world. It's about saying, look at me, I'm in charge of my life and I'm in control of my life. And you are. It's just sometimes we forget. Let's take a rest from my voice. So I'll talk to the others. So again, you notice, I don't think I mentioned weight once, because it's not as if Lou is usually overweight, but she just likes to change the figure a bit. She likes to be able to get into a dress. So if Lou were to come to see me for weight loss, because she's not huge or anything like that, again, it's something we can talk about later, but I'll probably ask to write to a doctor, because sometimes you can get, I'm not saying this, but it's completely from Lou, but sometimes you can get people that are quite slim who want to come for weight loss and let that ring out some, with some alarm bells. But it's different with Lou because she wants to get into a wedding dress. That's her goal, that's her target, and she can't quite do it at the moment. Okay. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Deeper, deeper. Deeper, deeper, deeper. And I wonder if you could imagine in your mind's eye a giant buffet table. And on that buffet table are all the foods that the old Lou used to eat, all the drinks the old Lou used to drink. There's bottles of wine, packets of crisps, tubs of hummus, whatever else might be there, pastries, all these different things. When you can imagine all those things, just nod your head to let me know. Okay, they probably look pretty bland, and there's very little natural colour in there at all. They're full of sugars, full of fats, chemicals, poisons. You see, these are the things that are bad for your health, bad for your well-being, bad for your emotions. These are the things that can cause you to gain weight. They're like a poison to your system. So what I'd like to do, I'd like to get rid of them. Get rid of the whole lot. Just clear that table. And when that table's clear, but not before, just nod your head to let me know. Okay. Turn your back, walk away 3 paces. And look back at that table. If there are any foods left on that table still, you can nod your head. If they're all gone, you can just move your thumb. Okay, so these are the ones, they've all gone. Okay. So what I'd like to do now, I'd like to start putting onto that table all the foods you are going to eat from now on, all the drinks you are going to drink, all the healthy stuff, fresh sparkling water, lean meats if you eat meat, fresh fish if you eat fish, nuts, pulses, grains, cereals. Imagine the colours, there's bright yellows, oranges, reds, purples, greens. These are the foods that are good for you, good for your health, good for your well-being. These are the foods that allow you to be the person you want to be the size and shape you want to be. And when you eat these foods, you eat them slowly, contentedly. You genuinely savour every mouthful of food. You chew it slowly. You take your time when you eat, and you begin to feel more full and more satisfied with smaller quantities of food. Smaller quantities of food leave you feeling full and satisfied. And when you begin to feel full, almost full, you simply stop eating. You simply stop eating when you begin to feel almost full. You know and you understand that it's vital that enough food is good. And too much food is just a waste. Enough food is good. Too much food is just a waste. It's better off in the dustbin than in your body. But enough food is good. Too much food is just a waste. It's better off in the dustbin than in your waste. Same with alcohol. It's a poison, it's a depressant. It's full of empty calories. So much healthier, so much more pleasant just to drink cool, clean, clear, fresh water. So you awake in the morning feeling refreshed, alive, whole, at peace with yourself, at peace with the world. And just take a rest from my voice, just for a minute. And the only thing we put in a little bit of alcohol in there is because, we were saying earlier that we were seeing one of the biggest things is the calories in the wine. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Now I wonder if you could imagine a beautiful building. You can imagine a beautiful, beautiful building. Just nod your head to let me know. Okay. Outside that building is a very wise person. Wise, kind, smiley eyes. And they offer you to go into this building. And as you go into this building, there's many, many floors. And each of these floors are corridors, and each of these corridors are doors. And at the very top of this building, there's a room marked private, authorised personnel only, control room. And as you get to the top of the building, and as you're going up there, there's a hum of energy in the room, in the building. And this hum of energy doesn't sound quite right. It might be a little bit lower than you expected it to be. And you have a pass to get into this control room, which means that you are authorised to go in there. And as you go into this control room, there's monitors, there's levers, there's switches, there's knobs, there's dials, control panels. And you notice one of these sliders is marked motivation. Another one might be marked metabolism. But you notice the one that's marked metabolism, there's just something holding it stuck rigid. It's almost as though there's a little stopper in there. So I wonder if you can remove that stopper. And as you do, it's as though the whole building can breathe a sigh of relief. And you notice how this slider automatically moves, and the energy in the building just begins to increase that little bit more. That thrum of energy just becomes that little bit more insistent. And it's almost as though you can feel more energized, you can feel more alive, more positive, more motivated, more empowered. As you lay your mind, your body, just to relax, just to let go. And I wonder if you can look around anywhere else in that building, in that control room, just to see if there's anything else that needs shifting. Just take your time and shift the things you need to shift. And when you're done, but not before, nod your head to them. Okay, thank you. I'll just talk to the others just for a minute and just enjoy this peaceful state. So what we'd normally do here is we go on, we'd do some coping to mastery, we do some parts therapy, there's a full session, but just for the benefits of today, just stop you guys from falling asleep. We'll go on and do some, we'll just do a count out. So in a moment I'm going to count from 1 to 5. When I reach number 5 I'll snap my fingers, you open your eyes, you return to your waking, fully conscious state. You feel more alive, you feel more positive, you feel more motivated, you feel more empowered. And you find the whole idea of picking, the whole idea of snacking is just, it's just boring. It's just so boring. You find the whole idea of drinking wine is just boring. Whatever you do when you're drinking wine, you can do exactly the same drinking water. Except it's a darn sight cheaper, a darn sight healthier. Whatever you do when you're drinking wine, you can do exactly the same when you're drinking water. So of an evening time, you prefer to drink water. And if you do pick tiny amounts that leave you feeling completely full, completely satisfied, as you eat regular, healthy meals. 1, more aware. 2, just breathing in fresh, clean mountain air. 3, just washing eyes, nose, throat, face and mouth. Cool, clean, clear spring water. 4 and 5.
God, it's getting really vivid purple. God, it's beautiful. It was great, but that last bit, it was like, I really want to open my eyes.
Cool.
If you're going to give an audio for people to take home,